So I'm just running around and exploring as one does. Speaking of which, I've just noticed that tower over there that seems to have broken apart but is still floating. That's something I'm going to have to look at in a minute. But I noticed this hanging tree over here, which was a practice at one point in history. And I just come over to the guy and I talk to him. Yeah, I can fucking talk to the guy. Just, you wouldn't notice that. There's nothing on this map that tells you he's here. There's nothing on this map whatsoever that tells you he's here. It's just, you find him, you talk to him, and he gives you a quest. He is alive still, technically. And somewhere over yonder, there is a druid spirit. Every night, it comes, you know, alive, so to speak. It becomes active, and it fucks the local dryads and various fey creatures, which, to be honest, if there's an afterlife out there, that's a pretty good fucking afterlife. But it's better than his. I'm not gonna lie, if I go over there and talk to the druid, I'm probably gonna side with him, because I'd much rather side with a dead druid that has fun with the local like nature spirits every night than this dude. But yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen in this. Quite often the game, like, fucks with your expectations. It fucks with what you think a general quest of that ilk would do. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you get a quest early on to, like, make a great set of armor. And then you make it, and it's a steaming pile of shite. Not only is it a steaming pile of shite, but it wastes the resources that you could have spent on something else. And that early on, like, teaches you, yeah, you're not going to get power easily here. It's not that kind of game. You know, you've got to work for what you have. It really rewards exploration. It really rewards the curious mind. There are certain things that I have and have found that I will not spoil, because I am pretty early on in the game. This is just entering the second area. And the things that I found and ran into by just exploring includes things like guilds. There are some, like, factions and guilds, such as, like, the Dark Brotherhood equivalent, or, like, you know, various, our Druid Order, I believe it is, or something like that, that you can join. And unlike, say, Skyrim, for example, you're not just gonna walk over to, like, the main hub in the area that, like, every quest is gonna send you to go there, and then find a bunch of people fighting a giant, and we're like, hey, you're a twat because you didn't help us, even though that wasn't your job. Do you want to join our guild? It's like, it's not gonna work like that. You're not gonna join a guild like that. You're gonna join the guild by paying attention and just talking to NPCs and exploring and finding shit. Hello, buddy. I'm not gonna hurt you. Go on. I've got plenty of your fur. I don't need any more of it. But no, it's absolutely fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic how much it rewards exploration, and I love the general difficulty of the game as well. I have just entered this new area, and I am getting my ass. I'm going to move away from those red caps. Ooh, there's a shrine over there, right? Because I do want druid stuff, so I want to go over there. So that means over the bridge. But this is how this game works. It works exactly the same way as a game like Skyrim. You'll walk around, you'll be like, ooh, I want to go over there. That looks cool. Or, ooh, I want to go over there. That looks cool. And then you make your way over there. You explore, you find shit, and you will encounter quests. If you're curious, you will encounter unique loot if you're curious. And unlike, say, Elden Ring, you're not going to find the exact same thing in, like, the exact same kind of content. So Elden Ring really burnt me out because it's a big open world full of basically the same shite over and over and over again. And with its difficulty on top of that, I found Elden Ring to be a colossal waste of time. It was my game of the year that year, but in retrospect, what do I call it? What's it called? Vampire Survivors was my game of the year that year. This is a contender for my game of the year this year, however. It is an independent, open world RPG trying to essentially, recreate the feeling people have with Skyrim. Except, it's got more of a Dark Souls, like, tone to it. With the exceptions of, like, NPCs and quests. What the fuck? There's a giant deer over there. Holy shit, look at that! That's so fucking cool! What the hell? I love this game. I love this game so much. What the fuck? Also, the environment's changing. I really shouldn't be standing around here because the time is ticking. Yo, I've just noticed. I've got to see what that is. I'm going to quick save here. I'm going to see what that is. Anyway. But this is what I mean. This is how exciting this game is. Look at all this shit I've yet to see. All these things I could go to. I keep noticing the screen tearing as well. My computer... This is like the first game I've played in years where I actually cannot play at max settings. Like, the game is actually very graphically impressive. It's the first game I've played in years on this computer that I cannot play at max. But, what was I saying? So, essentially, it's got that Skyrim thing of, here's a big open world, go explore and have fun, except it makes that exploration worthwhile. It really does. It makes that exploration worthwhile. Not that Skyrim doesn't, it does, but most open world games don't. And this, compared to Skyrim, it's night and day. I love Skyrim. I'm not somebody that shits over Skyrim. I will happily play Skyrim, while I will happily play Dark Souls. Like, difficulty is less of a thing for me. I'm not gonna sit here and go, oh, look at me, I'm amazing, I play hard games. Like, I hate people like that. Like, their ego is tied up in what people think of them, or what they think it says about them when, you know, they're playing difficult games. To me, if it's a good game, it's a good game. Skyrim is a super relaxing, cozy game that I can lose hours to, and I could lose weeks to without even realizing, right? Skyrim's amazing. There's a reason why I keep going back to it. There's a reason why I keep going back to Oblivion. Look at the big hands over there. I keep seeing new things. There's a statue over there as well, a castle. But doesn't this give you, like, Dark Souls meets Skyrim vibes, right? There's a bonus to it, though. A lot of the quests, when you're talking to NPCs, it has kind of a Fable vibe to it. So this game is essentially combining some of my favorite games ever made. You've got your Skyrim x Oblivion kind of like general, you know, gameplay. You've got your Dark Souls vibe and story kind of like theming. You've got your Fable sense of humor. The game fucks with you on a regular basis. It fucks with your expectations. There's several things in this. I know there's a giant frog, for example, that I saw a clip of. It might be in this zone. It looks like this zone. It's sleeping on the beach. If you pet the giant frog, it will wake up and bite your fucking arm off. And then you have to spend the rest of the game with only one arm. So you can't fish, you can't use dual-handed weapons, you can't mine, you can't dig, you can't do anything that requires two hands. It's a massive debuff in the game. And at some point in the future, I'm definitely going to do a run where I'm just using one arm the entire time, because that sounds hilarious. But the game fucks with you like that. Like, of course, if you pet the big fucking frog monster, it's gonna attack you. You idiot. And the game does this on a regular basis, where it's like, yeah, this isn't... There's that big deer again, that's so cool. It's like, yeah, this isn't like your casual fucking experience, dumbass. If you do something dumb, we're gonna punish you for it. And I like that. I think that's really fucking funny. Except, unlike some other games that do that, like Kingdom Come, for example, I can quick save whenever the fuck I want, so it doesn't become, obnoxious in, oh, look how difficult and realistic I am. No, it's just like, it rewards exploration. So what most people are going to do, they're going to quick save, they're going to see what happens, and then they're going to be like, yeah, that's really fucking funny, and then reload. So they get what they want out of it. Like, the developers make their point, but they're not dickheads about it, and you can just reload and basically just attack the fucking thing. Or, you can keep it. You don't have to reload, you can keep it, and you can do a challenge run for the rest of the run. I think that's really cool. There's a lot of things like that in the game. There's this one big quest I did in the first area that ended up just being like a... It felt like something Sheogorath would cook up, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's got your Dark Souls kind of tone in story and like in like design, like graphic design and artistic direction. You've got your Fable kind of like humor, like scattered in there as well in the quests. You've got your Skyrim like general like gameplay of big world to explore, lots of fun things to look at and then go over to and see what you can find. You've got rewarding exploration, such as finding this quest I just have, because I'm like, ooh, what's this? Now, a lot of people would see that and go, oh, hanging tree, that sticks out. I wonder if there's any treasure chests along here. And they'll run up, they're like, can I loot this? Can I loot this? Can I loot this? Maybe there's a thing over here. No? Okay, I'll move on. But me being me, look at this. Oh, look, I can talk. You know, like, that's a quest unlocked. And it really rewards players like me that like to see everything, that like to explore, that like to go into every nook and cranny. You know, like, gamers of a certain age are essentially trained to, like, if they see a waterfall, to go under the waterfall and be like, there's gonna be a chest there. And I actually do think that Skyrim is the last game I ever played that did that. That became less of a kind of thing over time, and even Skyrim didn't do it as much as, say, Oblivion did it, right? Or Morrowind. But, like, it's become less of a thing these... I love these little guys. I've just acquired these, actually. I've just bought them from a merchant because the skeletons that I was using was getting absolutely, like, just destroyed. Leave the poor deer alone, you bastards. I didn't tell you... whatever. But, yeah, so I've just acquired them, so I've got 2 new summons now to fuck around with, which is nice. But, oh, it's starting to get nighttime. Yeah, I will be reloading that save later on, so I'm not spending this entire time friggin', you know, dying. But, yeah, it's great. It's really, really freaking good. I think the general difficulty of the game is really good. It spikes like crazy when you enter the zone, but that just means, like, okay, you start off from the beginning again. You're no longer dominating everything. You're starting off, like, from square one again. Your best thing to do is go over to the nearest settlement. Oh, it's just saved. Your best thing to do is I'm gonna pause the game, I think. Your best thing to do is go over to the nearest settlement and, like, acquire the quest, start building your way up again, because it's fucking dangerous. You can't just explore randomly here. I've done a bit of it, but it's been difficult. Like, some of the fights around here are really tough, but I just want to do this quick video and upload it before I stream, because it is one of the best games I've ever played. The difficulty is, in my opinion, perfect. It's not like Dark Souls level of difficulty, but it's not Skyrim either. Now, again, I like Skyrim. I think Skyrim is one of the best cozy games ever made. But it's not like... It's not what a lot of people want from that kind of game, you know what I mean? But I think this is fantastic. I generally believe that this is this year's Baldur's Gate 3, right? There's so much depth hidden in it. There's so much depth hidden in it. But it's got just, like, that nice... It's got that nice AA feeling to it. Most of the big, like, names and genres we know now have come from AA games. Like the Elder Scrolls, right? They've come from indies and AA games. And then later on down the line, they become so big and, you know, the feeling of them changes. This feels to me like a AA game from, like, several years ago, right? There's obviously been so much thought and effort and care put into this game. I'm loving the story. It's essentially a twisted version of Arthurian legend, and if you're like me and you like mythology and folklore and shit, then, yeah, I just had a squee moment, because in this area, there's a Nuclevi. I cannot think of a single video game that has ever included Nuclevis, right? I've seen red caps before and various other kind of, like, British or, like, European folklore creatures, but Nuclevi is something completely different. I have never seen a Nuclevi in a video game. For those of you who don't know, a Nuclevi is essentially a demonic entity that looks like a human attached to a horse. It's not like a centaur, it's like a human riding a horse. And all of it is connected in one creature, right? It's all one creature. I believe, like, running water stopped it and shit like that, like a lot of creatures back then. But the design in the game is not really like what a Nuclevi is supposed to look like, but it is a Nuclevi. Like, you can see from its design, it's kind of like they've taken that and twisted it a little bit. But again, like, it's a very British or, like, European, like, legend just twisted, which again has that very Dark Souls element of it, where it's familiar, but it's been twisted around to something a little bit demonic and corrupt. You know what I mean? It's really, really cool. The music in the game is fan-fucking-tastic. The art direction is fantastic. It's a fucking brilliant game. The only downside to it is there's a few bugs. Nowhere near, like, a Bethesda game, though. It's nothing like a Bethesda game. But there are a few bugs, and any big-ass game like this, especially an RPG, is going to have those. So I can forgive it. Like, I've not had any performance issues or anything like that, aside a bit of screen tearing. But beyond that, it's been fine. But the only real issue I've encountered outside of a few bugs is voice acting. Voice acting is very up and down. There's some absolutely fucking incredible voice acting, and there's also a lot of Fable-esque voice acting, where it sounds like the voice actor is just phoning it in and just, like, taking the piss, right? You half expect, like, a British, like, comedic celebrity, like, a friggin' Stephen Fry to just suddenly start speaking, right? It's got that kind of, like, Fable vibe to it, mixed with the comedic writing in some of the side quests. It really sticks out. But that is the kind of thing that's going to really take people out of it, or kind of endear them to it. I'm kind of the endearing side, but because again, I love games like Fable. I kind of like silly voice acting. It's me, but a lot of people are going to be taken out of that. But so far, I'm absolutely fucking loving this game. It has been such a strong year for video games. I've talked about this before, but let me just bring up my my document here, because I make note of games that have come out, right, every year, because I do this top 5 video every year. Let me just quickly find the document. Top 5, there we go. So this year, we've had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, which won't be on the list, by the way, it's got too many problems, Final Fantasy I, The Girl Who Steals Time, Raidu Remastered, one of the best Mega 10 games from the PlayStation 2 era has come back. Digimon Story Time Stranger, I think that comes out next month. Date Everything, fantastic, very unique indie. Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, that's this. Expedition 33 looks incredible. I really want to play that. I've been avoiding spoilers like that, like the plague, because I know for a fact that I want to play it. The Elder Scrolls Online Remastered is in a year. Great game, a few flaws, but great. We're also getting the indie like mod remake, recreation of Oblivion. So Sky Oblivion is coming out this year. We've also got Go Focus with Your Avatar, which is kind of like an idle game, like Spirit City from last year. There has been, and I'm probably forgetting like one or two other things that aren't on here. There have been so many fucking incredible games to my taste this year. It's absolutely incredible. This is the hardest year that, like, since I've been doing my top 5s, which I think goes back to, like, what, 2013, 2012, 2011, something like that. Since I've been doing my top 5 videos yearly, this is the hardest year. I have never had such a hard time deciding what's going to be on my top 5. But this is such an incredible game. Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon. Please buy it. This studio deserves your money. It is so good. If you like Skyrim, if you like Dark Souls, if you like Fable, if you like a game, if you like open world RPGs with a little bit of challenge, if you like a little bit of depth, if you like depth, if you like, you know, exploration actually fucking rewarding you and being built with that old school style of exploration where things aren't just going to be plastered on your map 24/7. Incidentally, this game, in my opinion, does the best of both worlds, right? Where it does place map markers. They're not going to do the Morrowind thing of telling you what direction you need to go and that direction being completely wrong, so you have to search it up on the internet. No, I don't like that. There's fast travel, but there's fast travel from stations. So you can't really fast travel at any point. You have to go to like a specific station that you've unlocked, and you can fast travel between the stations. That's the nice happy medium. There's not going to be every single possible quest littered on your map, but there will be quest markers for the quest that you're on. So again, they're not going to just tell you where to go so your brain switches off. You've got to explore, you've got to find them, you've got to engage. However, when you do have a quest, it will tell you where to go, which is nice. It's that nice little happy medium between the things. It definitely does reward exploration. I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but like Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon is really, really fucking good, and there's a decent chance that this is going to be my number 1 this year. There is a real decent chance, because this is a new game. I've heard that it isn't a new IP. I believe it's a tabletop IP or like a book IP or something like that. But maybe it's the first game, or maybe there are other games. I don't know, but maybe the first of this ilk. But it's again, it's an incredible game, an absolutely fucking incredible game. I did have it in early access, like I did with Baldur's Gate 3. They've used that to kind of like iron out some of the issues. But yeah, really, really fucking good game. Please give it a try. It's absolutely fantastic. I've been waiting to like get a decent chunk of the time into it in order to kind of like iron out my opinions. And apparently there's more shit coming in terms of mechanics. I've only just unlocked like another skill tree connected to King Arthur. But like yeah, it's great. I'm really enjoying the summoning. I love summons. In Skyrim, I'm often like a conjuration stealth guy, where I just stealth. I conjure, I stealth, and then I basically attack via magic or archery, or fuck with illusions and shit like that. Like, I'm the kind of person that likes mixing, like, magic with melee, or magic with, like, like roguish abilities. Like, I like magic as kind of a flavor, and the game is really giving me that. I can run around with summons all the fucking time, and it's great. Like, I love shit like that. But no, it's really, really good. There's a lot of things in the game that fuck with the player, that fuck with their expectations. It's got a great sense of humor, but at the same time, it can get serious. It's like nice mix. Again, if you like the Elder Scrolls series, if you like the Fallout series, it's got that kind of vibe. It's like Fallout New Vegas, where shit's serious, but it can have fun at the same time. You know what I mean? It's got that kind of vibe. Like, again, that old school RPG, that old school Western RPG thing of being serious and dark, but also a bit silly at the same time, which I personally think is a British thing. This isn't made by a British developer. It's some European developer. I don't know, but it's a very, to me, it's got a very British sense of humor where it's dark, but also kind of silly at the same time. That's quintessential British humor. But no, I absolutely fucking love it. I'm gonna shut up now and upload this before I stream later on. But no. This is a truly fantastic game, and I couldn't recommend it enough. I'm just pausing it because I don't want to give too many spoilers away, because the whole thing of this is exploration. And yeah, like, from what you've seen of me just playing this, you can see how I'm into this, how passionate I am about this, and just exploring. Like, I want to see what those hands are about. I want to go to that druid shrine. I want to go over there. I want to go to that tower over there. There's so much shit to do, so little time. I'm only in the second area. I think there are like 3 or 4 areas. I'm only in the second area. I have spent so far 28 hours in the game. I'm absolutely fucking loving it. It is fantastic. But yeah, I do try and finish games before I make them. Make it on my top 5 list, but I'm not as stringent with that anymore. Generally speaking, I think if a game is like living rent-free in my head all the fucking time, even if I don't finish it, if I've had a blast like several hours in, it deserves to go on the list. It was like Coffin of Andy and Lele. We got a new patch for that recently as well. I need to play the patch for Coffin of Andy and Lele, but it's still not finished. It was like, what, 2 years on, it's still not finished, but I do not regret putting that in my top 5. Because that is a game that I have not forgotten about. Andy and Lele was so fucking good. But this is the future at the moment. I think a lot of people forget that indie games and AA games are what like 90% of massive AAA game IPs started as. Like, indie and AA, especially AA, have always been like the pinnacle of quality. This isn't something that's new. Admittedly, it's got progressively worse over the years. I'm not denying that. It's definitely gotten worse. Like, these companies have got greedier and greedier and scummier and scummier. But to sound like with the risk of sounding like a hipster, the mainstream stuff for everything has always been shit. Mainstream music compared to independent music, completely night and day. Mainstream movies compared to independent movies or like middle budget movies, again, completely night and day. And again, video games. Mainstream video games compared to like indie video games or like lower budget, medium budget video games, completely night and day. It's kind of always been this way. I think a lot of people have just forgotten about that, and AA games have kind of gone the way of the dodo. They kind of died out over the years as the gap between those who have money and those who don't kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger. That nice happy medium kind of went away. This incidentally is also why I fucking loved Werewolf the Apocalypse Bloodlines, a game that I believe most people would have completely fucking forgotten about at this point, because it just reminded me of the kind of like AA game I used to play when I was younger. It's a very old feeling game. It's a very like early 2000s feeling action game. That's why I loved Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, because it felt like my gaming history. Like, it wasn't this, like, big fucking spectacle of an action game like everything has to be right now with, like, quick time events and cinematics and all this kind of thing. Nah, it was just a basic fucking early 2000s action game. And that's kind of awesome. So, again, yeah, this is fantastic. They said that, like, I don't know whether they said it or, like, the other people talking about it said this, but a lot of the kind of, like, chatter around this game is they wanted to create Skyrim but for adults, essentially. Not that this is not that this is like, not that it's got like a bunch of pornographic shit in it or anything like that, but what I mean is they wanted to create Skyrim, but with a bit of grit. Skyrim, but with a bit of challenge. They wanted to give people the same feeling they get with Skyrim, that sense of exploration and just wanting to go back to it and explore and just lose hours to it, but without kind of like the Dora the Explorer casualization, where they're removing a bunch of RPG mechanics and shit like that. And again, I love Skyrim. I'm not just sitting here shitting on Skyrim. I think it's a great game. It's, again, like I always say, Skyrim is one of the best cozy games ever made. But, I think they've succeeded. They have made the Dark Souls of Skyrim. It's the Dark Souls of Skyrim. But no, they've made a really nice combination of Skyrim, Dark Souls, Fable, and Orphanian Legend. It's really cool. It's really, really fucking cool, and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's got all the old school trappings that I love, with all the modern kind of like casualizations that I love, you know? It doesn't treat me like a baby, but it doesn't treat me like I want to get whipped and like scream mommy or daddy at someone either. It's that nice happy medium between, here, enjoy this. you know, it's that nice happy medium between, oh, come here, Dora the Explorer, and yeah, fucking call me daddy. You know, that kind of thing. But no, I think it's absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to shut up here because I'm going to go on and on and on and on and on and on. I hope you've enjoyed this ramble. Buy the game, play the game. They deserve it. It's fucking phenomenal.